Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. We are going to be doing some standing Pilates. Christian is going to be demonstrating, and I'm going to lead you through some of my favorite exercises. I would love everyone to find a standing position somewhere in your room, and again, either standing on your mat or just to the side of your mat. First couple things we're going to do is finding our relationship with our breathing. So I'd like you to take a big breath, raise your arms up above your head. And then maybe let that air go as you lower your arms. Let's do that a few times. Lifting and lowering. And one more. Lower your arms by your sides. Start with the top of your head as if you're pouring something and roll down towards the floor. Now these first couple times we do it, we're just sort of checking in with our body. And when take your time, roll back up. We'll do a few of these. And this body check-in is just to notice, how are you feeling today? Where is it a little bit tight? Where is it feeling good? It's going to be a non-judgmental check-in. Let's do one more of those. Well done, everyone. Once you come back up to a tall standing position, I'd like you to shift your weight more onto your toes, more onto the balls of your feet, and then rock your weight into your heels. And we're going to do that little rock coming front and back a few times, noticing how far you could go front before you want to take that step front, and then how far back you could go without toppling backwards. Good. And now we're going to sort of lean from side to side, from right to left, left to right, doesn't really matter. But that same concept of going just to that uncomfortable spot, noticing how now the sides of your legs are working a little bit different, maybe your ankles, your toes. One more time, side to side. And then I'd like you to settle back into your middle. Right? So you're evenly balanced from the right side to the left side, front and back on your foot. Your toes are out wide. And now I'd like to start that roll down again. But as you roll down, I really want you to feel like you are hollowing your body over something. That might mean, to make it more exciting, you need to shift your weight slightly more front. We're rolling down and up a couple times. So where the first couple that we've done was more about a stretch and checking in, this should feel a little bit more, let's say, work. We'll do one more. Well done, everyone. Take the spine all the way back up. Find your wonderful standing position. Now I'd like you to lift your heels and lower your heels. Go all the way up to your top tippy toes and lower your heels back down. Going all the way up. Now the hard part is when we're coming down, it is a choice to bring your heels back down, not that we've fallen out of that balance. Maybe fall is a little bit of a dramatic word, but you know that feeling. Make the choice to bring the heels down. Lift your heels all the way up. Now comes the real fun part. We're going to be doing a roll down with your heels lifted from the floor. Don't worry if this feels a little shaky. It is really hard. Roll down, eventually roll back up, and then bring your heels down to the floor for a moment, and then you get to do that again. Remember that we need a sense of humor for any class with Christian and I, so this is where you just be gentle with yourself. It's fun. We try to create challenges for you guys, but you're looking for that smooth roll down all the way back up. Feel how the soles of the feet, the backs of the legs, everyone, all of those muscle groups start to say hello. I think Chris is in it for one more.
In my classes, I don't need to create humor. I have it.
Oh.
It's already there. It's part.
It is already there. Okay. Well, in that case, this will be your last roll up because I have something else planned.
So now we're going to lift both toes up as well, and then we're going to do a roll down.
Exactly.
So you're levitating.
Exactly. So this next position, I'd like you to go heels together, toes apart. Gently squeeze your legs in that Pilates V position. So we're not looking for 180 degrees, but we are looking for that V where we can feel the inner thighs working. Press your arms back and then bring your arms up above your head. We're going to do this a few times. Reaching your arms back and all the way up. Good. I'm going to just come over here just to point something out. Chris,
don't push me.
I'm not going to push you over, don't worry. As you are exploring that shoulder mobility, you still have that, maybe let's say, emphasis on the core. So as you're raising your arms up, we're not, let's say, opening in our rib cage. So what I mean, we're not arching in the back right now.
So less this one.
Less of the arch. Don't worry, we're going to get into something like that a little bit later, but more holding on to that connection to your core.
You see that?
I'm not looking at you, I'm looking over there. Now I'd like you to bring your arms back, everyone. And I'd like you to find a pretty far back position, but you're going to be doing a nice little pulsing movement with the arms. Pulsing movements. Now, if we were doing this 100 on the floor, you wouldn't have that range of motion because you'd be hitting the floor. So let's see what that feels like for your shoulders when we're going there. Good. Take a pause for a second. We're going to make this, maybe face towards them, we're going to make this a little bit more exciting for our 100. We'll do all of the breathing, the entire thing, but I'd like you to lift your heels up 1 centimeter from the floor and squeeze your legs in together. So we're not all the way at the top of that high point, but a midway where your soles of the feet are working, your inner thighs, they're squeezing like crazy, and then we're going to bring our arms back. Take a breath to prepare and start pumping the arms. We breathed and breathe. Good, keep it going at home. Big breath, working on finding that balance. You don't need to press your shoulders down, but let's just make sure that they're not rising to your ears right there. Keep the squeeze of the legs going, engaging in the center, what we were doing before. We're about at 60. Focus on the breath. We're about at 80. Keep it going. Unclench your jaw. And you have about the last 10. Well done. Once you've finished, release your arms, bring your heels down to the floor. Again, take the top of the head, roll down towards the floor in that V position. Excellent. Roll all the way back up to standing. I'd like you to go into a parallel position. Stretch your right leg front. Your right leg front, the leg is long, your foot is pointed. What we're doing is pressing your arms back, and at the same time your leg is rising and lowering. As the arms go back, your leg is rising.
The name of the exercise is Rise and Shine.
Rise and shine. We've renamed it. I am looking for a good, strong balance. If you feel like you are tipping over, maybe check the level of your head and where your eyes are. Sometimes we have the tendency to look down, and as the head comes front, we're going to feel like we're toppling front. Chris has a joke in his head.
I'm not allowed to say it.
Smiling.
I cannot say it now later.
He's always making fun of my teaching. That's okay. Last
No.
one.
I would never make fun of you.
That's what a healthy marriage is all about. Let's go to the other side, my friends. So same thing. The leg is rising. It's lengthening out in front. And as we do that, we're pressing the arms back. Totally normal for this to be a challenge to your balance. So if you feel like you are moving to the side, I really want you to check in on all of those body elements. Are your toes spread out wide? How are your hips doing? Level of your head. Nice. We have 2 more here. Good. And then bring your leg back down. Good. Maybe bend your knees, give yourself a little shake out. Good. We're going to be first opening your knee and closing your knee. I'm looking for some hip mobility here. Let's just do this to warm up that inside. Inside, outside, turning out, turning back in.
Is that a warm-up like the soccer players do?
It's almost like the soccer players. It's getting your hips a little happy. I'm obsessed with hips. Last one. Let's do the other side, the other leg. Inward, outward. We don't need to be super precise here. We're just looking for the movement. Also a cool dance move if you do make it to the club sometime.
I forgot my skirt.
A little bit of a can.
No.
And last one. All right, reach your arms out towards the side. Good. I'd like you to extend your arms as if your fingertips can touch both sides of your room. You're going to start with whichever leg you would like. You're going to be doing a leg circle that goes front, open, round, and touch to the front. And then up, open, round, and front.
Just to the side or also back? No, only front side back.
Only front side.
From side front.
Exactly. Now, I would like you to be thinking as if you were lying on the floor, that the pressure of that imaginary floor is now the wall behind you. You don't need to back up onto the wall. Let's circle the other way. Leg circles going inwards. Your bottom leg, your standing leg, is long, it's strong. Good. Remember having a sense of humor. Good. You should be finishing up your last one.
It's much heavier than lying down.
It's not quite as fun, is it?
The leg is getting heavy after a while. I don't know.
Again, reinvent that length in your body. And when you're ready, other side. Now, Chris is right. This is going to feel much heavier than if you were doing leg circles on the floor. See if you can breathe. Use your breath to help find the lightness. I know it's not light. It's the imagination that's helping you. You should be circling the other way right about now. Great job, everyone. Katya, if that shoulder is not happy, just bring your arms down by your side if you need to. Good. Finish off the last one. Good. Oh, again, wiggle out your legs. We're going to do a funny one right here. I'd like you to bring your hands behind your head so your fingertips are just touching. This doesn't require strength. It just requires precision in a standing chest lift. So what we're doing is keeping the entire body all the way up to your rib cage, front and still and vertical. And instead here we're going to, as if you were doing a roll down, but we're not going far. I'd like you to do your chest lift. Right now it looks like a chest down. And then stack your spine coming all the way back up. So it's like a standing sit-up. So Hubert, make it even smaller, just as if you wanted to work on those top part of the abs. And actually, we can even make Chris upright even more. So I'm going to just bring my hand right here, and he has to go over and then back up. Yes.
So it's less a spine stretch.
It's
Or less a standing spine stretch.
It's less, so it's not quite the spine stretch right here. It's definitely more, Miranda, I think that's a great range of motion. It's going to just be that upper, like if we're getting into those upper ab areas. We don't, yes, everyone looks great. We're just going to keep it like that. Perfect. Elena working out in the middle of the beautiful oasis she's at. Now, let's change it. That sort of like a variation here of a single leg stretch. So we go rounding and your knee is coming up. Rounding and your knee is coming up, as if your nose and your knee can make contact. And then slowly bring it back down and change to the other side. So now the real tricky part, that was such a great correction, Chris. I just saw that. We would like the knee to be traveling up, keeping the core of the body vertical. Just the top and the bottom are meeting. So we might feel our low abs, upper abs, maybe in a different way. It's like standing ab work.
Yeah, the more I lift my leg, I feel like pressing the other standing leg even more into your mat.
Totally. That's a great observation. Let's finish off this last one, and then we're going to do another little change. Good. Relax for a second. I just want to come on. Give me a thumbs up if we felt that. Kind of interesting in a different way, right? Okay, let's just play around with this idea a little bit more. So we know our crisscross, right? So normally we are on our back and we're going to go from one side to the other side. We're going to be now doing our crisscross, but trying to keep your hips without twisting. Now that's the real hard part, keeping the hips on the same level. The knee is going to be coming up, and we're rounding and bringing ourselves towards that knee. See if we could translate that floor movement all the way up in the standing. And I'd like to encourage all of you to really lean into, anytime that Chris and I are teaching, this is about an exploration of movement. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking for different. We're looking for a journey. We're looking for you to learn something new about your body. Great job, you guys. One more time each side. Okay. Let's see. So we were just working a lot on our hips and our low abs area. We're going to change it by doing a variation of our one leg kick. So what I'd like you to do is bring your arms almost in a genie position. If we know that one, yes. So that we're having a little bit of, say, tension in the upper body. That helps us connect into our core a bit. Let's squeeze the legs in together. We are in a parallel position. Choose your favorite leg. They're both favorite, I know. And I'd like you to bend it, bringing your heel closer to your popo. Now, stay here for 1 second. Notice if you're arching your back and try to, if anything, go into a slight imprint position so that you feel a little bit more activation in the back of the leg. Once you get to that really uncomfortable position, I'd like you to start doing little squeezes of the heel coming towards your hip. If that's not feeling very active yet for you, slide that leg a little bit further behind you. That will be sure to activate those muscles. Let's do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot back down. Chris, how's that feel on your body?
It's actually more on a standing leg.
It's more the standing.
It's interesting. I like it. So maybe from my feeling.
If you have hyperextended knees, you might want to add a little bit of a bend in your standing leg. Chris, you could also just see that if that works for you. But
No, I mean it's just from the thigh and from the hip. This maybe it's from the work before to keep the standing leg.
Pull it up.
Just in my body.
Yeah. Good. Keep it pulsing. Here's another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. And bring it back. Good. Give it a little shake out. We're going to do a tiny change here. I'd like you to stretch your, let's say right leg back, just so we're on the same leg. Okay? Your arms are going to be reaching up above your head. I'd like you to engage in the center of your body. We're going to go this first few times slow. The angle of your thigh does not move. We're going to bend our leg with a pointed foot. Try to almost kick it into your popo. 1 time point, 1 time flex. Stretch your leg and tap the toe down gently, long leg. And then we do that again. 1 time, kick it, point, flex, stretch it back. Kick up, point, flex, stretch. 1 more time, slow. Point, flex, stretch. Now I'd like you to continue finding your own speed. See if you can make that a little bit faster. Still keeping the same quality and the same precision as before. Really nice, Emma. And good, Emily. Good. And let's do 1 more. Nice. All right, prepare on the other side. You'll notice that you need a very deep core activation to make sure that you're not arching in your back. Now remember, nothing is dangerous what we're doing, but you might notice things are working in a different way. So if it's too uncomfortable, I'd like you to back out of it and see if you can modify it to make it work for your body. All right, you're already on the other side. You're doing that slow exploration. A point and a flex and a reach. Good. Now for our dancers here, this is a little bit harder to keep it on a parallel, myself included. Nice balance, Miranda. Nice balance, Elena. You guys are doing good. Hubert, that's a good challenge for you. I'm really liking that. You have a few more speed times, and when you're done, I'd like you to just shake it out. Good. Let's add our roll down with bent knees. Slightly bend your knees and roll down. See if you find a spot which feels really nice, release for your low back. Then just hang out there for a second. And then stack your spine, coming all the way back up. And you'll do 1 more of these roll downs with knees bent. Great. Standing position. Let's roll our shoulders back. Let your shoulders come to rest. With a big breath, raise your arms up above your head and let them float back by your side. 2 more times. Thank you so very much for your hard work today. Thank you for joining us today. Why don't you check us out in one of our live stream trainings or watch any one of our hundreds of pre-recorded videos made just for you. You could find that in our Perfectly You Inspire membership. If you're a teacher, you might want to grab any one of our free resources. That's down below in the bio.
Yes, if you can't get enough for right now, why don't you go over here, watch the next video, go over there to subscribe. If you have any questions, anything you would like to know, please leave us a comment down there below. In the end, thank you so much for joining us today. Bye.
Bye.